Mindy Shire had a quest to push mainstream fashion designers to create apparel for children and others who are differently abled, and she did it. It was her own son, Oliver, who served as her inspiration, and she's here to tell us all about Runway of Dreams.
Yes.
What a catchy title.
Thank you.
So tell us about Oliver.
Oliver is the middle of my 3 children, and he was born with a rare form of muscular dystrophy called rigid spine.
Okay. And clothing became a problem, or a challenge, I should say?
Yes, exactly. Right about at age 8, Oliver started really caring about what he was wearing and his personal appearance, and asked me one day if he could wear jeans to school. And it was the first time I was really served up with the challenge that I knew he wouldn't be able to do the zipper and button on his own. He wouldn't be able to wear his leg braces over his jeans. So I was forced to make a decision of whether I let him go into school knowing all of that, or with his head held high because he felt like the other kids. And I chose to let him wear jeans like the other kids. And that was really my aha moment that a change needed to happen.
And then you did what?
I formed the organization, Runway of Dreams, in which we work with the fashion industry to modify mainstream clothing for the differently abled population.
Was it a tough pitch to try to get the mainstream designers on board? You know, some would say, well, there are other companies who create clothing, you know, for differently abled persons, you know, but you said, no, I want to get fashion designers, you know, involved.
That's correct. Because expanding mainstream clothing to the entire population was a very important part of our mission. I wouldn't say it was a challenge. I would say it just required education in terms of that this population, they are consumers too, and they wear clothing just like we do. So it was just really expanding that knowledge base of the fact that this is a population that currently isn't being served.
So you have to tell us who you pitched first, or just some of the ones that you did pitch, because we know you had some success, but we want to hear who you pitched.
Well, I'm thrilled to say that one of my very first pitches was to Tommy Hilfiger.
Okay.
And within 5 minutes of the meeting, the CEO, Gary Scheinbaum, said, "You got me at hello." And that really,
awesome.
It was incredible. And I said, wait, I have so much more to show you. And really, the rest was history.
So Hilfiger's on board. Have you been able to get in contact or get the same reaction from other designers, or you're still working on a few?
We are in discussions with a lot of other designers, so
Nothing
I'm excited.
you can say right now.
I'm excited to come back and tell you.
Okay, no, we will hold you to that. So what types of clothing?
Right now, we started with the children's wear collection, and it's a beautiful capsule of everyday clothing that can take kids from day to evening. And the wonderful thing is that it was really designed with this community in mind, but yet it's the same clothing that typical kids are wearing. So we're really, really excited about the product that's coming out and everything that's down the pike.
I imagine that you have a network of other families who have children who are differently able. Had you heard any sort of comments from them saying, you know what, why can't our children also have the label and the brand? Had you been hearing that from any other parents?
I did, and when we started Runway of Dreams, I really spent a good part of the first year only doing research, because I needed to understand if other families were experiencing the same issues that we were. And it was really from the community that I learned everything that I have in terms of the modifications that would be beneficial to the masses of this population. So yes, I did hear loud and clear, and even globally, that this was a big issue.
Were you overwhelmed at any particular point by the reaction, you know, or, you know, what started as a personal mission connected to Oliver, you know, you now become a voice for so many others, you know? Has it hit you?
Happily overwhelmed in the best way possible.
Okay.
It inspires me every single day to keep going until every socioeconomic background has choices with adaptive clothing, because the incredible thing about this community is that it's really everywhere. It's very hard to find somebody that isn't directly affected by some disability, whether that's a parent, a brother, a child.
Right.
At some point in your life, you're affected by that. So it's an ongoing notion.
I think any parent's first mission is to build the esteem of his or her children. So you have to tell us, how is Oliver feeling once he saw those clothes and he is just the next boy in school or whatever.
Exactly, and that's the beautiful part about it, that really he just feels typical or normal, and that's exactly how he always viewed himself, but now can actually show the world that he is a part of this community, of this industry, because it's being addressed. So it's a wonderful thing to see him progress in his self-confidence and how he views himself.
And it's called Runway of Dreams.
Yes.
What's your website?
runwayofdreams.org.
Nice to meet you, Mindy.
So nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me on.
No, thank you
it's
for
a
coming.
wonderful help.
And come back when you can tell us a little bit
Promise.
more. Okay.
Promise.
All right. You promised. All right, everybody, coming up, the powerful story.